Hello, third graders again. This is Miss Class. Today we're doing a different lesson. This is about fractions and number lines. So instead of cutting up different pieces to see how many pieces can fit on the whole, now we're going to look at plotting them on a number line. So our objective for this lesson is I can show where a fraction belongs on a number line. And as you can see down here, I have a number line from 0 to 1, and I have 1/2 in the middle of that. So on my board, I have drawn a number line, and I labeled it 0 and 1. There's actually a big space between 0 and 1. There's lots of things in between it. Normally when we look at a number line, we see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're counting by ones. But now that we're learning about fractions, which is our pieces of 1, we can look at all the things that can fit, or the fractions that can fit between 0 and 1. So the easiest one to start with is 1/2. So think about if you're traveling a distance, you can think about halfway. So if you were to go halfway between 0 and 1, that would look probably about right here. And my fraction for that I would want to label would be 1/2. Okay, so that's 1/2 on a number line. If I were to go even shorter and I were to cut this half in half, that's tricky. What number would that be? Well, let's look at the different pieces this would be. So here's one piece, here's another piece, and we got to keep going all the way until we get to 1. So I'm going to have to cut this also. Here's 3 pieces and 4. We can see that there's 4 equal pieces. So this is going to be 1/4. It would be the same if I were to cut the 1/4 in half again. Whatever I do right here, I need to put that same mark in between each one so it's equal pieces, because I wouldn't want this little tiny piece, and then bigger piece, right? So I'm going to cut this evenly, my whole line. And if I were to start jumping, I would go here from 0 to my first mark. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm at 1/2. So I wonder what I'm going to get to when I get to 1 whole. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces. So that means right here, this would be 1/8. Kind of another cool thing about this is that means that if this is 1/8, this is 2/8. So I'm going to put 2/8 down here. That means that 1/4 and 2/8 are the same size piece. This would be 3/8, 4/8, and look right here, 1/2 is the same as 4/8. 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and finally 8/8. And this means that 1 is the same as 8/8. So we have a link to your assignment for today. You're going to be practicing dividing your number line up into fractions. Use a pencil because you might need to erase. After you plot your fractions on a number line, you have a little multiplication word problem practice to do. All right, I'll see you for the next lesson.